So we don't yet know what's happening with this game and what the future is going to hold for this particular title. It could be a brand new game. It could be a whole new title. Who knows what's going to happen? And I would even go as far as saying that if we don't get crossplay for this game, it's probably going to be in the potential sequel or maybe in some kind of brand new game later on in the year. But I'm expecting something to get announced and revealed for summer. It could be this big giant summer update, this big giant patch with crossplay being included and all the different character changes, as I was talking about from last time. It could be, but we just don't know what's going to happen yet. And that's why today I'm going to start talking about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 features that's missing in this game, things that could be in this game in a potential brand new game. Now, I'm going to just say this right now before I get started. They could continue to add more into this game. I feel like they could, with characters, new modes, and changes, new features, and new playable game modes and more. So that's what I'm going to be talking about for what they could possibly do for the next game, or maybe some kind of brand new title. I feel like something is coming this summer, for a potential summer update. Just how I was saying, could be a giant summer update, or maybe something else could get revealed. So we don't know what's happening, but that's why, just in case, maybe going forward into the future for this brand new game or a new title, we could be getting something new. That's why I'm going to be talking about the features today, or what they could bring for the next game, because there's a lot of stuff that's missing. It's not just missing shows and missing character reps and stuff like that. They're missing so many different modes, and I feel like this extras playlist could be expanded, because you just got the gallery, you got the moves, and then you got the jukebox to listen to the music. And if you have save replays, you could just go back and rewatch them if you already didn't clip them already for some of your favorite matches and things like that. And then just the credits. But that's all they have in the extras playlist. This could be a lot more. There could be a lot more game modes that's included for this extras playlist, for this tab. But I'm about to get ready to start with the most wanted. Well, everybody's basically waiting for, not even just me, but let's just start with the online. So when you go online, you can't even really play crossplay. This game is missing the crossplay feature, and I think this is one of the most important features that they can really genuinely bring to the new game, to the new sequel, or maybe a new title, or maybe in the future. It could be part of the summer update that I keep on saying. Some kind of summer announcement might be potentially coming. But crossplay is so important because it allows people to play from all different platforms, and you don't have to buy the game multiple times or get a whole nother PlayStation or a console, a whole separate platform just to play with certain people. Crossplay makes a huge difference when it comes to these kind of games, and I think this game is definitely could be even better, and it's going to be even more, bring more people playing the game and purchasing the game and coming back to playing the game even more than they ever have, with crossplay being included. So just like I was saying before, it might not be in this game if they decide to backpedal and change a different, make a different decision and bring it to a whole different game. Still don't know why it came out accidentally though, so I'm still trying to figure that out. But from early March, pretty crazy. But crossplay is just such a big deal, because now, come on, lobbies. Just gonna show it. It's hard to find lobbies. You got to change your region and see if you got to check individual regions, and even if you have just it set, if your region is set to auto, you're probably not going to find that many players. You have to check individual regions just trying to find players, or go into quick play. And I just think the modes on here could be a little bit expanded too. So with the crossplay, you don't even have a mode for teams, so I want to get into that to go alongside with crossplay. How about a teams mode? We could do 2v2s and a 4v4, and something else I'm going to get into in just a matter of minutes. Just different modes that some additional modes that they can add offline too, to bring more brand new features to the game. But crossplay is just the first thing I wanted to talk about, because it allows people to play on different platforms at each other, and everybody's going to be able to play. It'll be even more active than it is right now, because you got people just waiting to see what's going to happen, trying to find out, is crossplay going to really be added, or is it going to be did it get switched out? Did they make a last minute decision and decide to, you know, wait till a brand new game comes out, or maybe put it into something else? But I think crossplay is just definitely one of the most important features to be added for the potential sequel, if there is one, just to start. And just what I was talking about with the teams and co-op, I want to go into the arcade. The arcade, you only can play by yourself. See how you only can play a solo. You can't, it doesn't support local co-op, it doesn't have an online mode. How about an online arcade? Or maybe if you don't want to play local co-op, you could just be able to invite someone to go through the arcade, and instead of that one opponent that you fight two of the same opponent, but at a higher difficulty, so you can turn it up. And then they got the speed run. That's a little bit different. You know, you just try to beat your time, beat your record, see how fast you can go through the arcade. So it opens the replay value a little bit with the speed run and trying to get the best time that you can and beat your own record to defeat all the opponents. The arcade mode needs to be longer. And I'm about to start getting into it right now. I'm about to just pick a random character. Let's be okay. The superstar! So take a look at the screen. I'm not going to play the arcade. I do love the music. So take a look at the top of the screen. 3, 4, 5. It's like 7 stages. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 7 stages. And you see that split icon? Those are the, you know, and you already can see it just right next to him before we get ready to fight him. We're not going to battle him, of course. You got Hugh Neutron stage and you got the Rugrat stage just below at the bottom. It only lets you pick two of those different, well, it lets you pick one, but you have a choice between 2 different stages with 2 different random fighters that you don't know who's gonna pop up. So the arcade could be a little bit longer, and instead of just choosing one fighter for the double, it should let you fight both of them. You know, maybe fight them both at once, or give you that option, and it turns into a 3-player battle, or you can just battle them one by one. They can mix that up. See what I'm saying? So I would like to see the arcade get a little bit of an extension. And if they keep it as it is, which is cool, how about getting another player to be able to join in the arcade for some co-op, a cooperative local co-op arcade. And then if you're online, you can just be able to play through the arcade with some friends, and you guys can go through it together as a team on a higher difficulty. It'll be a lot of fun. So I think that's something that I would like to see them do to expand the arcade that supports that cooperative play. We're gonna back out a little bit too, you know, and it's good part of a single player mode. Some of those characters, let me go back in there one more time. Arcade. For the arcade, when I got this game, just to bring y'all back, when I first got this game, I thought the characters would be locked. They were all unlocked right off the bat and ready, you know, playable right off the bat, prior to them coming out and revealing Garfield, Shredder, Genie, Hugh Neutron, and Rocco. Prior to those reveals, all the characters of the base roster were already unlocked. I didn't really like that too much. So I'm hoping that they have some of these characters locked, so you can actually be able to earn these characters and unlock them in different ways, going through a challenging mode or beating the arcade with a certain character. So you play as, let's say, you know, Sandy's locked, you could play as SpongeBob Patrick to unlock her, or maybe another potential SpongeBob rep like Squidward can get into the game. You can unlock him by playing as another SpongeBob character, but maybe on a higher difficulty. See what I'm saying? So turn up the requirements and the conditions of unlocking some of these characters that's on the roster. Having everybody unlocked right off the bat when you buy the game, you're just not going to earn anything. So I'm hoping that they have locked some of these characters. They did it in Kart Racers 3. It was tough getting all those characters, but I like how they put them. You had to unlock them, and you had to do certain things to get those certain characters. So I'm hoping that they do something like that for the sequel. Lock some of these characters so we can be able to unlock them by playing the game, not having everybody available right off the bat. You know, you're not going to be able to get anything. So that's something else I want to see them change up in the single player mode and the expansion. Let's go back to the menu. I would love to see a story mode. See this little menu? This could be definitely bigger and expanded. I would love to see some kind of story mode. This game doesn't have a subtitles option. Let's get a story mode up in here. They can, or maybe some kind of single player, or they have unique interactions and voice lines. Go to the options, see there's no subtitles. You got voiceover volume where you can hear them, the announcer, sound effects, and the music and the master volume. But how about some subtitles so we can see what some of the characters are saying outside of just the arcade themselves? It'll be really cool for them to have that, put a subtitles mode in. But I don't know. I don't know how they can. I mean, I made my own story already for the game. You know, having battling all these different villains and things like that. You can turn the story mode and then implement a boss battles mode exclusively for Nickelodeon villains. Let's go to the battle mode. They don't have that many. They don't have that many villains in this game. Shredder and Zim. And some people said Red Char's a villain because he's destroying cities. I don't know. He's a cereal mascot. It's on the cereal box. I never thought of Red Char as a villain. Okay, maybe somebody can explain that. I just don't think he's a villain. Shredder and Zim, I would say they're the only two. And even if Red Char just happens to be some kind of villain in a way, there's only 2 to 3 if you want to consider Red Char a villain. That's very few, and they're outnumbered from all these protagonists and heroes. It's nice to see all of them, but you can get the villain like Vexus. You can Vexus to get in to go head to head with Genie, an iconic villain. Vlad Plasmius. You know, you already got Shredder, but you can expand with Bebop and Rocksteady, Dr. Stockman, you know, and then some other characters. Casey Jones can get up in here. Yeah, it's a protagonist, but they have so many different other villains that they can get in from their shows. Dirty Bubble, Man Ray, Zuko is missing. I'm surprised he's not even in this game. Yeah, he's in Car Racers 3, which opens the door for him potentially getting into the next game. As a guarantee, I'll say, because you don't have someone to rep Fire Nation. Some more Louds, you got one rep. It's just so many different things that they can do. So I'm hoping that they can probably get some kind of boss battles and add additional villains where we'll be able to battle, and then see how I was talking about the lock characters. As you beat those bosses or those specific villains, that could be an exclusive method of unlocking them. Make them really difficult to beat and very hard to, you know, take down, where you'll probably need a backup teammate. See the fun factor behind that? Get somebody to back you up in the fight and in the battle, in this giant boss battle, and you can unlock it together. So you and your teammate and all the other friends that play against that boss, y'all don't have the character, y'all beat them together, everybody gets the character unlocked. Or you can try to really challenge yourself fighting them solo on an even higher difficulty, being tanky and having all that extra hit points. It doesn't even have to be a hit points, but they got the damage meter already with the percentage. They'll be able to take a lot of hits and be a little bit more difficult to launch. But that's what they can possibly do with these villains. And you can expand from other shows or Fairly Odd Parents if they can get them. And then Professor Clematis for Jimmy Neutron can get involved as a boss. Mr. Crocker for Fairly Odd Parents. It goes on and on. SpongeBob's Plankton with Karen as a perfect duo to fight together, to take on. You got all those different characters, and then the Greasers as a trio. You fight all 3 of them one by one. Cat Dog, it's just so many. I just think that the possibilities are endless. All the different options that they have for this game, for the next game, for new modes. And now, you talked about the story mode, single player, and boss battles with the locked characters. Hope they do lock most of these characters so you'll be able to unlock them and get them right off the bat. And as you guys already see in the game, in the name, El Tigre is definitely a good character that can get in too. But what I was going to say is that you see how it's only 4 players? This is another feature I want to see. It's only 4 players. You can do 2v2s, obviously. See? Just put this right here, just for the fun of it. But it's only 4 slots. This screen can definitely be a little bit bigger. How about 8-player mayhem? You know, slime mayhem. They can just call it like that. Just some kind of new mode that you can play. Not even just local, but just online. That can be some kind of new additional online mode that can be implemented. 8 players would be crazy. 4v4. and you need a much bigger stage. And even if it's a short, tiny stage, all the chaos, it would be so much fun. I would be laughing myself to death. Just with all the chaos, everybody fighting, things like that. It's gonna be fun. So why not? Why not an 8-player mayhem or slime mayhem mode to expand and go above and beyond? And they can make it, even if they want, they can do an online exclusive, an online mode exclusively, and then if you want, you can also play it locally and offline. Do an 8-player CPU challenge, 8 SpongeBobs, something like that. See who wins, or a 4v4, a team of SpongeBobs against a team of Lincoln Louds. It'll really be fun. Or you can mix them up, SpongeBob and Patrick with Leonardo and Mikey to take on Shredder, Zim, just making it up. Or in this case, I'll do SpongeBob, Patrick with the Louds, Lincoln and Lucy, against the Avatar characters Aang and Toph to take on, and also for them to be teaming up with Leonardo and Michelangelo for that 4v4. That would be an epic showdown. You don't know what's gonna happen. So I think that's something that they can really be able to implement. That 8-player mode would be fun, and even in customs, it'll be a lot of fun hosting those kind of games and hosting those lobbies. 8-player customs where everybody can be able to join in, teams of 4, shuffle the teams, randomize them, so it's not the same teams over and over. It'll be a lot of fun to support for custom games too, just to play around. In another mode that I just wanted to throw out here, I just put Slime Time Rush for battling the full roster. Of course it doesn't have to be time or something like that. It could be something expanded. You got the sports mode, which is cool, but this needs to be fixed a little bit too. I would like them to make some adjustments. And just like I just mentioned, with 8-player multiplayer, a 4v4 sports team or a 4v4 sports mode, that'll be a lot of fun. Or an 8-player free-for-all. See what I'm saying? It goes on and on and on with items, all new items. You bring the items that's in this game and bring out some new ones from other shows and references if they can get access to them. 8-player mayhem with items, all the items on, that's pure chaos. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then with Slime Time Rush I was getting into, you can battle the full roster. I'll just click on training. Just with this, I can imagine it. See how this look. See how it has 2 slots, but you're only gonna, of course, pick the CPU and the opponent. This could be perfect for the arcade. That's what I was talking about. So you can definitely picture this being a cooperative, 2-player co-op for the arcade. But for the Slime Time Rush, you can battle against the full roster with 1 character and utilize the items.
Select your fighter.
Some of the items that heal in the game, for example. The main one is the Krabby Patty. It's the only item that heals. Take a look at the screen. There's only 1 item that allows you to recover. And you see when they can really implement this. Put the Krabby Patties, Purple Flurp, Jimmy Neutron, some of the other delicious items that are really good from these shows where the player can recover, every so often when they play the rounds. It makes you just gonna say this before, it can be almost like the All-Star mode, but they have their own mode with some kind of different name, and it can have a similar fashion when you play through it, and you can eat Krabby Patties, a couple Krabby Patties as you go through and try to progress. And then when you play it, you unlock different things to reward the player. Some of those characters can be locked behind that mode, so you got to complete it with certain characters, or maybe not lose as many lives or that many stocks, while also playing on a higher difficulty to make some of those characters be obtainable instead of having them unlocked right off the bat when you open and boot up the game. And they don't have to always, you don't necessarily have to, some of them can be behind a paywall for the DLC, of course, or universe packs and more. Hopefully they do more than just 1 pack. They'll continue to add more with stages and things like that with voice lines. I hope they bring that back as well, with more voice lines so that characters are not quiet and silent. but they can just bring so much more to the game. So those are just some of the features I want to just mention for this potential sequel that we might end up seeing, or maybe a brand new title, and maybe some, if not a new title, maybe in a future update they can just do it like that. But I feel like there's gonna be something new at this point. Since Crossplay is probably not gonna probably come out for this, it could get moved for a brand new game. So I don't want them settling just bringing out one pack. I want them to bring so many other characters for DLC from all those other missing shows. Let's not drop all the characters that we got. Let's keep everybody that we got in this game, bring them into the next game, and continue to, and we can bring more from those other shows that didn't get represented and that's missing. Hopefully they'll be able to add them into the game too. So I don't want to see none of these characters get dropped. They have a really great roster as it is. So I definitely think they can expand. Let me know what you guys think of some of these features for maybe a potential sequel. But I think these are definitely be a lot of fun with the co-op, the crossplay, boss battles, locked characters that you'll be able to unlock from playing and getting rewards from playing, and then the 8-player chaos and being on a battle against the whole roster in a slime time rush mode. It'll be so much fun.